you want to go and see the dragons, the Komodo dragons in Komodo National Park, but you don't know how to get there. Well, some good news for you. I happen to be Labuan Bajo, gateway to the Komodo National Park. I'm standing here. I turn you around. There we go. There is the Komodo National Park. So, let me talk you through how to get here, how to get out there, and how to see the Komodo dragons, and so much more that this place has to offer. Komodo National Park. Komodo National Park is famous for its dragons, but it does in fact offer a lot more than that. It's an incredible above and below water biodiversity that's now become a national park in a small hidden corner of Indonesia close to Bali. Snorkel, dive, swim, island hop, and of course see the Komodo dragons. So what I'm going to do today is explain to you how to get here to the Komodo National Park. First, you need to get yourself to Labuan Bajo. Now that's on the island of Flores, which is quite a way east of Bali. So you've got three options from getting from Bali to Labuan Bajo, the island of Flores, which is right on the edge of the Komodo National Park. First, the easiest option, but not necessarily the cheapest, is to fly. There's several daily flights from Bali, Denpasar Airport in Bali, to Labuan Bajo on Flores. I'll put the links to the various airlines down below in the comments so you can check out the flight prices yourself, because they do vary a lot. Also be warned, flights do book up far in advance, and the further in advance you book, obviously the less flexible your dates are, but the cheaper the flights. It's a 90-minute flight, so it's not too long, so you can get up in the morning, be in the Komodo Park before lunchtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Komodo Airport.
The second option is quite the opposite. It's the boat trip, and it's a slow boat trip from Bali to Labuan Bajo. It's a bit of a compromise option because it takes 4 days and 3 nights sleeping on the boat. Now there are some cheaper boats, and you will literally be sleeping on the deck in a roll-out mattress and sharing the facilities and getting basic food. And if you do go onto the cheaper boats, check the safety requirements. There has been a few episodes in the past, not recently, especially in the rough time of year when a lot of the boats haven't been particularly seaworthy, so please note those. But of course the big thing is it takes 4 days, 3 nights to get here. It doesn't just chug along, it does go round the island, it stays close to different islands, so you do get to snorkel with a few things on the way, see a few sights, but in general it's a slow boat to Labuan. No, but it's an option. The third option, is by bus or aircon coach. Now I know there's islands, but basically the boat, you get on the coach in Bali, it takes you to the port, you then go on a boat, ferry that then goes across the next island, you get back on the coach, drives across the next island, you get off the coach onto the ferry to the next island. So basically you get little ferries between the islands and a coach across each island until you get down to Labuan Bajo. Now that's probably the cheapest, but it does take between 20 and 30 hours. So it's not as long as the boat, it's not as expensive as the plane, it's probably not as comfortable as either. So it's sort of compromise between the two. So there's your 3 ways of getting from Bali to Labuan Bajo to begin with. By the way, currently there is no flights from Lombok to Labuan Bajo. A lot of people think, well, it's quite close, but there isn't. From Lombok you have to go to Bali and then to Labuan to get a flight. So, by one method or another, you have successfully managed to arrive at Labuan Bajo. From Labuan Bajo you can see the Komodo National Park. It literally is right out there in front of you. Beautiful views over the harbour. You can see the little islands. You're so close you can smell it and you can see it. Now, how do I get myself to see all these wonderful sights in the national park? Well, the good news, it's really easy. In Labuan Bajo itself, there is lots of operators offering either day trips or overnight trips or diving trips, island hopping trips, Komodo trips into the national park. So you can base yourselves at one of the hostels or hotels or small accommodations in Labuan Bajo and literally do day trips to see what you want into the park. Very easy, just walk down the main road from the port, you'll see all the signboards outside with various offers on them. Just go in, talk to the people, find somebody you like, and book a trip. So there's one option you can do, basing yourself in Labuan Bajo and doing day trips. The second option is to do overnight trips or liveaboards, which could be 2 nights, 3 nights or 4 nights in the national park, where you literally join a group, or if you've got enough people you can make your own group, and you go out on the boat into the park, you go around the sites and you sleep on the boat each night. It's fairly, well, some of them are fairly simple and basic. There is some luxury options as well. Depends on your budget. Obviously, the more you pay, often the better you get. You can get from basically sleeping on the deck of the boat right through to luxury air-conditioned cabins. But it's a great way to see the Komodo National Park, because you sail out there, you sleep in the park on the boat overnight. It's an amazing experience. And of course you slowly go between all the sites. So you go and see the Komodo dragons either on Rinca Island or Komodo Island. You then go snorkeling and try and see the mantas. You go to the different islands. It's a very nice and gentle experience. So well worth doing. The third possibility you can do is stay in one of the accommodations or one of the lodges or hotels that are actually based inside or right on the edge of the national park that are not in Labuan Bajo. Now they tend to be special. A lot of the dive operators are based further north in the park, and you get a deal with your accommodation, your dive package, your transfer, your food, all inclusive. They pick you up from the plane, take you to the port, go out on a boat, and then you spend your days diving, snorkeling and enjoying right close to the park. But what to do in Komodo? Obviously you're going to go and see the Komodo dragons. You can't come all this way and not go and see them. And there's the 2 islands which have Komodo dragons on. Komodo Island, which is the biggest island, and then there's Rinca Island, which is a slightly smaller island next door. Both of them have Komodos. You'll both get to see the Komodos if you go to either of those islands. So obviously you're going to do a boat trip that does that. I wouldn't recommend going to see the Komodos. It sounds great and exciting, but an hour or so there and you've seen it. The Komodos aren't the most active creatures in the world, so you're going to go and see a Komodo, do a walk, see some more Komodos, get some information. That's pretty much it. You've done it, you've seen the Komodos. So it's not really a full day trip, so I'd recommend combining the Komodo trip possibly with a snorkeling or an island hopping trip in one day, and all the agents and operators offer them. So literally you'll probably go out first thing, go to one of the Komodo or Rinca Island, go and see the Komodo dragons, then sail off, maybe have a spot of lunch, and then go to somewhere, one of the popular ones is to go and see mantas. So you can go to snorkel with mantas. Obviously it's very hit and miss as to whether you see them. Some of them just do go to a different island so you can see the views. Some of them just have snorkeling over reefs. But it makes quite a pleasant day of not just going to and from to see the Komodos. So that's well worth doing. A little bit about Labuan Bajo itself, if you're based there. It's a little town. It's got quite a smattering of accommodation and eateries. The accommodation though does book up in advance. There's no big hotels, it's all small hotels. So I recommend if you're staying in Labuan to book ahead, book your room. There's dorm rooms in hostels and there's hotels. And there's usually quite a buzz about the place. Where I was staying last night, they had live music playing. I don't know which day of the week, I think it was a Tuesday night. There's always something happening. Plenty options of places to eat, and it's quite a nice mellow little town. I hope this information helps you in planning your trip to go and see the Komodo dragons and to explore the Komodo National Park. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, encourage me to do more of these videos so I know that you like them and that they're worth doing. And if you like traveling and adventure and seeing the world, remember to subscribe. I'm traveling around the world, trying to keep everybody up to date with all my vlogs as I go and all the different places. Subscribe, keep up to date, comment, give me suggestions.